Hey everyone, I'm Pete Dalliday for PTBO Canada. It is time for another edition of Hometown PTBO, brought to you by Trans Canada Nissan. It's our St. Patrick's Day week special, and my special guest this time around is a gentleman that calls Peterborough home now, but he used to call Ireland home, so that's why he's our guest today, and that's Adrian O'Keefe. Adrian, how you doing, pal?
Good afternoon, Pete. How are you?
We're doing good. Listen, tell us a little bit, you grew up whereabouts in Ireland?
I grew up in Cork, in the south side of the city. It's Ireland's second city after Dublin. I grew up there, subsequently living here in Canada since 2008, January 2008. So coming up on 14 years now, you could say, or just a little over 14 years. 13 years even.
Close enough.
Let me do the math on that one. Yeah, a little over 13 years, and Peterborough's home now, and I love it here, and my kids are here, and it's just a fantastic place to live.
Any comparisons to your hometown, Peterborough?
Peterborough is very, very similar to my hometown in Cork. It seems that even though I've only been here 13 years, and I've heard this many times, I go out with the kids, and they're like, "Dad, you know everybody," and I'm like, "Well." It has that family feel to it, just like in Ireland, where everybody knows everybody, as opposed to, maybe Whitby or Toronto, where people are a bit more, isolated, for want of a better word. And obviously, Pete, we know each other through hockey, and, my kids play soccer, and I play soccer, and I coach soccer. So you get involved in that, and you get to know people, and it's a very friendly city. So there is comparisons in that regard,
Inside the hoodie I'm wearing, actually, it's full of 20 Irish names from the Peterborough area. So you got Moore and Sullivan and Grady and Gear and all these Irish names. How big was that you were moving into Peterborough County, where there is so much heritage from Ireland?
Yeah, for sure, Pete. And like even it's my ex-wife now, and we're still great friends. But she's from. Her family would have that Irish background, like her dad was a Kennedy and her mom was an O'Donoghue, and from
that's pretty Irish.
Yeah, from Ennismore originally, and so there is that hometown, is that hometown feel, and you find that even the names, when my mom and dad come to visit in the summer times and that,
they feel like they're at home.
They feel they're like at home. Yeah. My dad recognizes the names, even when we go to church or whatever. He'll read and he'll say, like, "Oh man, those names are so Irish." And the place is obviously Ennismore, which is the Gaelic. It literally translated, that's the Gaelic word for Inishmore, which means big island. So again, Ennismore would have been called after Inishmore. You know what I mean? And places like that, Douro. There's a village in Douro that's only a couple of hours from where I'm from at home, and. So there is that Irish heritage that is, it's pretty neat. And
you work here at McCloskey's, which is, I don't know if this is officially Douro-Dummer Township or not, but it's very close to Douro. Yeah. Is it just me, or do you find people from Douro have that a little bit of an Irish accent, like just a little bit? You pick up on that, or is it just us Peterborough city guys?
Probably you city guys, because as you can hear, my accent is pretty strong anyway. But definitely, and I know a lot of people in Douro, and I've been at weddings in Douro over the years that I've been here, and let me just tell you, it's no different. it's no different to anything from anything from home. It's such a great community feel.
All right.
There's always music. There's always dance.
Yeah. Well, speaking of a few of those things, let me throw a couple quickies at you. Speaking of music, okay, so U2 or the Pogues, if you had to pick one.
U2.
U2. Yeah. All right. You got a favorite U2 album, or?
Well, the Joshua Tree obviously is iconic, and I was lucky to see U2. I saw the Zooropa tour in Cork back in the 80s, and I also saw the recent tour in Dublin, 2000. Do you know what? It was actually Michael. Laura was pregnant with Michael, so it would have been 2003. I can't think what tour it was.
Yeah, but I saw Pop Mart tour.
Did you?
It's the only time I saw them. They were great. Yeah, I loved it. Okay. If you're going up to the bar at an Irish wedding there in Douro, do you get a Guinness or a Murphy's or?
Well, back in the day, I no longer drink, by the way, but back in the day, it would have been a Guinness, and probably a couple of Jameson later on in the evening, but. But as I said, those days are behind me. I was getting too old. I was getting too old for that. You know what I mean? And to be dealing with that.
Do you know where you would get a good pour here in town though?
Well, I know from back in the day there used to be a bar behind Sin City as it was called the Tank House, you know.
Oh, yeah.
We used to spend a bit of time there on Friday afternoons and Friday nights and Saturdays sometime. But
back in the day, he said, keep that in mind, you know.
I think a lot of the Irish people that work here in the factory, I think a lot of them use the Porch and Pint or McCloskey's or any Gertie's, any of those establishments.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, what else can we throw at you here, Irish-wise? Lucky Charms. Do they actually sell Lucky Charms in Ireland?
No, I have. No? I'd never seen Lucky Charms until I moved here to Canada. And of course, there's the Shamrock dude or the little leprechaun guy, you know. And it's, yeah.
Oh, they're good though.
Irish Spring is the same.
Okay, yeah, exactly. They don't sell. So if you're to buy Irish Spring here, would it be in a bar or the body wash form? The kids probably like the body wash.
The kids.
They wouldn't even know what an Irish Spring bar of soap was, eh?
No, that's old school.
Yeah. Hurling or curling?
Hurling for me. I played a lot of hurling. I played right up to the day I left. You know, I left Ireland when I was 29 or whatever, and I played hurling. It's for anybody who doesn't know it, it's such a great sport. You know, it's I guess it's a cross between hockey and lacrosse.
Yeah, it's kind of a combo.
And it's our national sport, and it's
okay.
You know, I played all my life, and even my younger brothers still play.
Yep.
You know, to this day, and I can watch them live on TV and that. You know, so it's good.
St. Patrick's Day, is it as big back home as we make it out here, or do we just do it up because we enjoy it, or is St. Patrick's Day every day back home? Like what?
Yeah, no, it's still
pretty big.
It's still a pretty big deal. No, it seems to be a bit more party central here than it is at home. You know, at home there's a lot of sport. Well, pre-pandemic there'd be a lot of horse racing, or there'd be hurling matches or Gaelic football matches, and obviously there's going to be people partaking in festivities too, but it seems here it's more like a midday to a midnight, let's get
her all in one day.
Let's get her all in one day, but it's still a big day, and as I say, get together with your friends and a bit of horse racing and a bit of hurling or whatever. So.
Right on. Well, keep up the great work here at McCloskey, and I'm glad you're enjoying your 13 or 14 years here in Canada. We're lucky to have you here, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you, pal.
Thanks a lot, Pete.
Hometown PTBO with Pete Dalliday, presented by Trans Canada Nissan.